everyone, I'm Mignon Grayson, and I am coming to you from Sacred Mysteries Worldwide, and I am going to talk about starting on a spiritual path. And I wanted to talk about that because a lot of people have a lot of questions these days. People are more inclined to journey down a spiritual path that's non-religious and need information on how to get started because there's such a vast array of stuff all out there and you don't know where to start. So I wanted to kind of give my personal view. This is by no means just end all be all exhaustive list or of suggestions that you could get, but it's where I think people should get started or good ways to get started so that you can get your feet wet. You can start to begin your journey with confidence, begin your journey with a little bit of an idea of how to go about it. So the first thing I want to mention about starting on a spiritual path is that it centers around who you are as a spiritual being and discovering that. And there are many ways to discovering that. And on your own, I'm going to give some ways on your own that you can do that. And then by doing these things, other things will come up, or you'll learn from reading about yourself about spirituality, because we're spiritual beings and that's how we were created, and things are specific to us personally, and you will see that in these different techniques and strategies or ideas about how to get started. Okay, so let's get started. um, First and foremost, I just want to say at the top of this is that in this arena, and even in the religious arena, spiritual arena, you can't just trust anybody because they say that they can do this. They're a priest, a priestess, or this kind of reader and that kind of reader. I just recently saw that online in my group that someone had offered an aura reading and they weren't what they said they were. So you can't just trust anybody, even if they're just offering it to you for free. So that being said, it's always best to go by referral, by someone who knows someone, or someone who knows the reputation of someone. So that's, so if you want to start to get divination or readings from someone, that's how you find a person. Now, one of the things I got started with when I was on my spiritual path, and it wasn't that popular, so there weren't a lot of avenues to go down. So we went by some of the older, more traditional ways, which was through astrology, getting to know your sun, your moon, and your ascendant, and numerology. Now, astrology, the concept in astrology is that your birth day, date, year, and time were all predestined. So that being said, where the planets are positioned in the heavens at the time of your birth means that you are imbued with certain characteristics, personalities, traits, and things and challenges to overcome. Astrology will also talk to you about the different stages in your life and what will take place in those stages and how to take advantage of those stages so that it aligns you with your destiny in the best way. And you can work towards a personal fulfillment of the type of life that you want to live. So astrology is a good starting point for those who are new. And you can get a chart. There are free online charts where you will get the basic information. You will get the chart because it's a circle usually that has the different planet symbols and astrology symbols within it, placed just like it was in the heaven, where not only where you not when and what time and what year you were born and what day, but also where you were born, because the heavens appear differently in different places in the world. So that is such an interesting concept that is a predetermined thing. So you would do a free astrology chart, and then they also break down what the different houses and planets and all of that mean. And then you can go deeper into it by getting a book on astrology, and learning about what the different each house, there are 12 houses in a zodiac chart, and what each house means and what the placement of the planets are within those houses from 1 through 12. Each house has a particular domain that it governs. And so you want to, figure out that. And then, there is a destiny within that. That's one way you can. And the next other thing is numerology. Numerology is also another tool that is based on, or spiritual science that's based on your name, the date, year, day you were born, and also your name, because each letter of the alphabet has a numerical value that has been assigned to it. And then you would bring those numbers together certain ways, that you do the whole name, and then you do the vowels and the consonants separately, and then you do your life path, which is based on your day, year, month that you were born, and then it reduces down to a certain numbers. So your numbers are usually that are recognized in numerology are 1 through 9, 11, 22, 33, and I think 44. And those last sets of double numbers are what they call master vibrations. So anyway, that's something to look into. There's also free charts online that you can get, free places online where you can get a numerology chart, and it also will tell you your life path, your personality traits, your inner urges, your soul urge, your external appearance to others, what you show to others, what's going on inside, and the different stages of your life, and the things that you can know in advance that are going to be a theme. So that's how numerology goes. So those two things, and what I love about those two things is that you're discovering about you. And discovering about you is always very interesting. And so you can confirm, deny, you can find out some things that you may not have thought of, or it may answer reasons about why you have an affinity for certain things and an aversion to other things. So it's really interesting to start out that way. And within those particular technologies, you will learn about spiritual concepts along the way that will be with your research. You will find that out. So that will start to attune and acclimate you to the spiritual arena and the types of words and dialogue that goes on. And so you have astrology. Numerology deals with your birth and your name, which your name is also predestined. Even though if your parents come up with it on the spot, they didn't know what they were going to name you before, your name was predestined. Your life is predestined. You're here for a purpose. So uncovering that purpose, because we are born into this world and our memories are not in place for why we came, our purpose. So it's about discovering that purpose along the way. And you'll learn certain things along the way that will interest you, and you'll learn about yourself, and you'll be able to see where it takes you. It's very exciting. I remember when I just started, which was decades ago, but I remember when I just started, and it was a world of wonder, something totally new, and it was a world of wonder. The self-discovery is such the main part of spirituality. A lot of times I'm seeing in social media that people are getting into the external aspects of spirituality, meaning, they want to do spells, and they want to cast this, and they want to hurt that person, or they want to get this person to fall in love with them, and things like that. And that's what it is. But, the main purpose of spirituality is personal development, spiritual development, and aligning yourself with your destiny. And also, elevating yourself so that you will activate the highest aspects of your spirit and be aligned with God. Okay, or whatever name you call the creator, God, spirit, source, goddess. Another thing that I can suggest is, if you have an affinity for divination, and you like tarot cards and, or other types of divination like runes. So you can pick a tarot deck, and you can, there's a certain way that you would prepare it. You would cleanse it off and all of that, and start to learn about the tarot and give yourself readings. And through that, and within the tarot, there are other spiritual language and teachings that you'll learn in that kind of discovery. So you're giving yourself regular readings, you get to know about the different classifications in spirituality, the different energies. So it's very helpful in attuning you to spirituality and all that goes into it. I would do, for a beginner, the classic tarot decks. There is the Rider-Waite, Morgan Greer, and the Aquarian decks. Those are some of the most basic decks that have been around a while, and they each look different. So look at them and see which one resonates with you, or you feel more inclined to them. And then you can start to learn about the different suits, which you have wands, you have swords, you have cups, and you have pentacles. So that's the 4 suits, and then you have the minor arcana, and then you have the major arcana, which are 22 cards. So anyway, get a book, get a deck, and start to give yourself readings, and that will help you start to learn about more esoteric principles and spiritual principles and alchemy as well. Another system of spirituality, of study, is called alchemy. You heard me just mention it before, but alchemy is a Western system of spirituality which recognizes all of the elements and works within the elements to produce and affect the internal and external world. So learning alchemy and the principles, alchemical principles, will also help you. If it's, these are things to check out to see if you like. If you like it, then great. If it's not for you, then keep it moving. And you can do a little research online and see. There's also sacred geometry is another aspect that you can check out to see if you like that. That's the principles of shapes and different shapes and what they mean and their mathematical and spiritual meaning. Another thing you might want to look into, which you would need someone else to do for you, is past life regression. You would work with a past life regression therapist, and they would take you back in time so that you can uncover your past lives, which your lives all have a theme running through them. So regardless of where you were born and who you were born as, there's a certain spiritual theme, a theme as a spirit that you've been traveling on these different incarnations and accomplishing and doing certain things. So it will unlock your memories to a degree, and life will start to make more sense. Because that's what we want. We want life to make a little more sense. The mystery is great, but you want to uncover some of that mystery so that you can feel more empowered to move forward in your life and to make things happen, or to align yourself to make sure that you're going in the right directions. The other book that I would suggest is called The Kybalion. The Kybalion is based in esoteric Western principles, but what I like about the Kybalion, and that's Kybalion, written by the 3 initiates. What I like about the Kybalion is that it gives an idea of the Creator and how the Creator manifests into the world. And so it breaks down 10 different principles. I think it's 10. It's either 7 or 10 different principles of the Creator. So that book is a good book to get to start to learn and start to be able to look at the Creator in a different way than maybe you had before. This is one that I think is fun. I would, if there are spiritual cultures that you're interested in, meaning if it's the Risha tradition, Yoruba tradition, or the Akan tradition, or a Voodoo, or Celtic tradition, or any Native American traditions. There are many different tribes in the Americas, Aztecs and Cherokee, and different, so many that it's hard to name them all. Look into the creation stories. They're very interesting to see how each different culture says that the world and the Creator created the world. So look into that. That's something that you might find interesting, especially if you like different cultures. Most of us that are born in the U.S., or in Europe, it's all about the Bible and that creation story. These other stories are very, very interesting. So you can look into that as you go upon your journey. What's something that is a part of most ancient traditions is ancestral reverence. Ancestral reverence is honoring those family members that have come before you and understanding and connecting with their spirits, because the benevolent ancestors are always there waiting to assist you and help you. So ancestral reverence is something to look into. My particular way that I was raised in is from West Africa. So it's from the Nigerian perspective of the Yoruba people in Nigeria, but it's by way of the Caribbean when the diaspora came here. So I learned those ways, and also those ways are mixed with other ways, a little bit from different traditions. Spiritualism is a part of my ancestral reverence practices as well. So anyway, look into ancestral reverence, look into setting up an altar with and communicating with your ancestors. It's good to get advice from someone who knows, who can help you set it up, or at least talk to you about setting it up. But there are also some good videos out there. I have one. You can look on in my videos here. I also have a book, Ancestral Reverence and Ritual and Reverence, and that's on Amazon. And and I also have a few videos on ancestral reverence, how to set up an altar, how to give ancestors food. So if ancestral reverence, your ancestors are the first spirits you should want to honor and to connect with, because they are your family. They are rooting for you. They have already started working for you, and they love you, and they want to see you do well, and they know what this life is about, and they know the struggles that they had, and they want to see you do better than they did when they were alive. And another thing about ancestors is that in your ancestral line, your different ancestors were skilled in different things. So connecting with them would help to uncover what skills and affinities for different things that you may have in life. It will confirm things. It will open up things to you. And also you can call on them to help you in those areas as well. Like, for instance, my daughter is a designer, and my aunt, her great aunt, was a designer when she lived, and my mother used to sew. So whenever she's creating new things and she gets stuck on certain things, she will call on them at the ancestral shrine and ask their advice on how she should move forward, and she always gets the right answer. So I'll just leave it there. And the next thing is color therapy. Color therapy is the spiritual application of colors in healing and spiritual work. Healing, each color has a vibration, and so it has a purpose and a vibration. So the vibration is the purpose of it. So red is for passion, and it's for a very fast and fiery energy. Yellow is for intellect. Blue is for healing, and green is for healing. In doing learning color therapy, also learning candle magic, because the candles have different colors, and you can use the candles for different spiritual work. Another thing that you can look into is a study of the chakras. The chakras come from the Hindu tradition, and generally you can find it in one way, shape, or form. In its oldest form in Asia, and it was brought over here into U.S. Decades ago, and it is a system of studying the main energy centers, which are located in this part of your body, and all the way, you've heard of third eye, your crown chakra, your throat chakra, your solar plexus, and so forth and so on. Another thing that you might want to delve into is learning about crystals. Crystal healing is very popular, but it's also very effective. I love crystals. I keep them near. I have them in my bedroom. I have them in my living room. I have them all around. I have my pocketbook. I keep them with me. So learn about crystals, the different energies that they have. Those are gifts from the earth that we use. If you're interested in African traditional religions like Orisha tradition, Voodoo, Palo Mayombe, tradition, those are very popular ones from Africa, from West Africa. Then you can read up on them. There are some great books on them. If you want to know the books, send me an email and I will send you a list of books. The email can be found in the links in below, so that you get to know about it. Now, with those traditions, you can only learn but so much from a book, and you have to get the right books because some people have written some things that are off the wall and not good. So you have to get the right books. Once you read about it, then it's best to learn about it from someone. These traditions are ancestral traditions, and they're passed down through lineages. Anyone that cannot tell you their lineage, who their godparent is, and who their godparent's godparent, and who their parent is, and on back, is somebody that doesn't really have a family base and doesn't have the right and proper training. So you want to stay away from those folks that claim to be a priest or a priestess, and they cannot tell you their lineage and have you meet their lineage. So you want a recommendation when it comes to those traditions as well, because you want to learn the right way. A lot of people are interested, and they're just going about things their way, and they're taking things off the internet. And through my own knowledge of Orisha tradition, when I've seen things on the internet, on websites, even in some books, the information is not correct. So you want to learn from someone. And not that everything is done exactly the same way across the board, but it has a history behind it. It has a reason behind it. And so you want it from a good source. So any of those traditions, you want to learn them that way. Oh, the other thing is to learn about the moon cycles, the full moon, new moon, and the cycles within. But start with the new and the full, and all the attributes and properties there. And I tend to align my rituals, certain rituals, with the moons to give extra energy. Also, when you learn astrology, you learn a little bit about the different planets. So there's always a planet somewhere doing something in the heavens. So you can always be aligned with the energies coming from the heavens. And that will also teach you more and more about spirituality. See, all of these things together, you learn them a little bit at a time. They acclimate you to your spiritual practice, and it helps you to identify what your interests are and how you want to go about your spirituality. Now, meditation, you've heard a lot about that. You can take on meditation. Going within is one of the most important things in your spiritual practice. So going within and traveling in the spiritual realm within is the most important. So learn how to do that, because that's where you can meet your ancestors, that's where you can meet your spirit guides, and that's where you will get revelations, intuitions, and insights. So learning how to go into that deep state is so important. So check out meditation, a contemplation, whatever you want to call it. It's just slowing down, going within. I got some videos on my channel for that too, if you want to learn. Also learning about Mother Earth cycles. We have the different seasons, and we also have the solstices, winter and summer, and then we have the fall and spring equinoxes. Those different times of year hold a certain particular energy where it's good to do certain things and to enhance your spiritual practices and to tap into certain spiritual energies. So you want to learn about those cycles as well. Another thing to learn about, and I got a list for you, so we're almost at the end. Learning about your aura, your energetic body that goes around you. There are actually different layers. Some say there's 3 layers, some say there's 7 layers, but your aura, and because we all have an energetic body that is around us. So you want to learn what that is, and everybody's aura is a different color, and it changes color based on what's going on with you as well. all in all, these are just tips and ideas. Use one, use them all, use none. It's up to you. But at least I was able to give, certain ideas about how to get started. You always want to have someone who is an elder that's been on the path longer than you who can help you navigate as well. So nothing replaces that. But understand that even with that, your journey is yours. So always remain in control and in sovereignty over your life in general and your spiritual life especially. So if it doesn't feel right, it's not right, don't go that way. Always stay in tune with who you are in that regard. And that's it for now. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If you have any comments, leave them in the comments. And until next time, peace.